Today, we are joined by author Martin Popoff, who is probably one of the most prolific and well-respected authors of heavy metal, hard rock books. He's covered it all. He's written books on heavy metal, hard rock, prog rock, punk rock. He's written books on collecting records. He's got over 120 titles to his credit. And he is here today to talk about his latest book, Hallowed by Their Name. It is the Unofficial Iron Maiden Bible. And this thing
Thank you, Schiffer Publishing.
Yes, courtesy of Schiffer Publishing, written by Martin Popoff. If you're watching this, you can see the size of this book. If you're listening and not watching, it's 666 pages naturally.
Sorry, how many pages?
666.
You're speaking my language, Martin Popoff.
And they sent one for you and me. Oh.
Yep. Wow. Love it. No, that was good. That was
anyway, good. The book is out now, came out April 28th. It is, it is the most comprehensive Iron Maiden book I've ever seen. Again, written by Martin Popoff. It's anchored by 30 years of interviews he's conducted with various band members over the years. It's compiled into chapters. It goes in chronological order. It starts with the early years, goes into all the albums, even goes into some of the solo albums, the Bruce Dickinson stuff, the Steve Harris British Lion stuff. There are chapters on Blaze Bayley, of course.
How about Samson? How about Bruce's band before? Does he talk about the Samson records?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. So here's the thing, and we confessed to Martin. We got the books in the mail about a week and a half ago, and so we've barely scratched the surface. So Samson, of course, is mentioned. I don't know if there's a deep dive into the albums themselves. But,
I'm only on page 40, so there you go. I mean, I
just finished the Peace of Mind, so I'm deep to the Power Slave.
Yeah, you're deep.
But it's a really deep, interesting book. A lot of the information comes from the band members themselves. Again, conducted through over the years with various members, interviews. And I like the way that he talks about the writing and the recording of the albums, and then talks about the artwork that accompanies the record, and then goes so far as to sort of analyze each song on the album. But it's done in a really casual voice. It doesn't get real academic sounding. I found it to be a pretty easy read, considering the level that it gets into as far as information.
Yeah, I like to and I've just broken the cover, right? So I've noticed that he's. It seems like, I don't want to put words in his mouth by way of how things were conducted and transcribed, but seemingly he's transcribed literal interviews. Like if he's got a recording of Steve or Paul or Bruce or whoever, or, somebody else, Rod or whoever, they're just going, yeah, we were in this pub and we're sitting around and look, there's so-and-so. It's like it's conversational.
Yeah.
And then he'll break in and said, Steve, on this date. And then he'll mention the birthday of the person. It's really interesting. How he's not forcing you. He's introducing you to this person as they're talking and giving you something personal about the band member or the manager or the ex guitar player or the ex singer that he actually spoke to, and not just like searching for information on the internet and putting it in a book, because he didn't do that.
A lot of it is firsthand information.
That's right.
As I said, that he gathered over the years in doing interviews with the various band members. So I like the fact that it's very granular, but it's very conversational. I like that word that you used, because I felt it to be very easy to read, but it was just exploding with information at the same time. And this is coming from, I'm a Maiden nerd. I've probably read multiple Iron Maiden books, so there's not a lot left out there, I don't think, for me to go, oh, wow, I didn't know that. But there were moments, and as I said, I'm only up to the end of the Peace of Mind record, and there was a couple things that really stood out to me that I thought were interesting that I read for the first time. So he makes no bones about it. He didn't sit down and start to write this book from start to finish. It is a compilation of some of his previous works, but it's been expanded with additional information. So not all of it was written for the purpose of this book necessarily. But a great deal of it was expanded on.
Updated, upgraded, expanded.
Yeah.
You can look at the chapters, and I feel like Senjutsu has been added to, you know what I mean? And the Bruce solo, Mandrake project and stuff like that has been added to things that he's had for a while now. And this is his 7th Maiden book.
7th or 8th. We were trying to count while we had him on camera, and even he wasn't sure. So
yeah, he was asking us at the end.
Yeah, he's done a lot of Iron Maiden books. But this one, I can't say that I've seen the other ones, but I would have to say that he did say that this so far is the biggest book he's ever written. So 666 pages. It's a huge body of work. And it's pretty much all inclusive. And
you're going to have to work out a little bit before you start reading.
I've been carrying this around with me because I've been trying to read as much as I can, and it'll make your arm hurt, man. I mean, this thing is heavy, and it's hardcover. It's every page full color, glossy. It's beautiful. I mean, it is a really beautiful piece of work here.
Does yours have this? Do you see this little? It's on pages 446 and 47. Turn to that, if you will. Turn to your hymns, 446 and 47. Those two pages in my, I don't know if you can see this. Just point that out. Look, they're connected. You see that? Check it out, Dave.
Yeah, I see that on yours.
Isn't that weird?
Mine are not. That's some mishap at the
I got an anomaly here. It's a collector's item.
Collector's item, yeah.
Anyway,
either that or they don't want you to read that page or something. Mine is not like that. So
okay, interesting. Well, it's just the machine spit it out that way where the pages got connected.
Yeah,
one sheet of paper. It didn't cut right or something.
I think anybody listening to the show or watching the show is aware of the name Martin Popoff. I mean, besides the 120 some books he's written, he was the editor-in-chief of Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles, which was the premier hard rock heavy metal magazine out of Canada for a number of years. So this guy, I mean, he's prolific. He's well studied. I would go so far as to call him almost scholarly in his knowledge of heavy metal.
Definitely.
And not just heavy metal. It's all, hard rock, heavy metal, prog.
There's something that I find myself saying, if I don't say it very often because I just can't. Martin's one of these guys that if he's a fan of your band, he will write about your band whether you have a new product coming out or not. He will mention you when he's just having a conversation if he's a fan of your band.
Yeah.
The good news is he's so good at what his craft, which is interviews and record reviews and book review, literally the sense of literal, correct. You don't want, after you read something that he's written, you want him to write everything else that you ever read again. You want him to be the writer of it.
Yeah.
Don't you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, he's very thorough, and, I've said this before.
His choice of words is what I'm getting at. How he is telling someone, how he's giving you the information.
And I think that's symptomatic of his passion for the subject. And I've said that about certain guests that we've had on this show before. There are people that can get the job done just by going through the motions and being very mechanical about it. And I'm not taking anything away from those people. Some of them are very good at it. But when somebody is purely driven by their passion, it shows, and it shows up in a big way. And I think Martin is that guy. And I think that's what you were getting at.
There's no doubt.
And you get that in the conversation with him today. You can just tell he's pure energy, he's pure passion. He knows everything about hard rock and heavy metal, and it's all stored right here in his head because he's been consuming it since he was a child.
Well, we started off our interview, as you'll see when you watch this episode. This is his therapy, and it's his on the same coin. It's his day job.
Yeah, he does this for a living.
Yeah.
So I'm very jealous.
Yeah. Well, so am I in a roundabout way. You know, because
he's doing what I want to do. He's making money, chasing and pursuing his passion, and he's very good at it. So
love it.
More power to him. Yeah.
How did you get him on the show?
His publicist. There's a guy named Clint Weiler.
Well, thank you, Clint.
Yeah, Clint, thank you so much. It was we were supposed to do this show about a year ago, and then the book got delayed. And Clint was a man of his word. He said he was going to put us in his back pocket, and he would get back to me when the time was right. And lo and behold, about a year later, I get this email out of the blue. He says, "We're ready for you," and the book is on the way. And sure enough, the book was, landed on the doorstep. And Martin's email address was forwarded, and we started talking and made it happen. So we appreciate you, Clint.
Yes.
And it was a real honor talking to Martin. As a writer myself, someone who writes about hard rock and heavy metal, not to the degree that Martin does, of course, but I always love having people like this on the show because I get to understand their world a little bit better. Anyway, the book is called Hallowed By Their Name, not to be confused with the Iron Maiden song Hallowed Be Thy Name. It is Hallowed By Their Name, the Unofficial Iron Maiden Bible. It's out now on Schiffer Publishing. You can get it through Amazon. You can get it through Schiffer Publishing. You could probably get it through Martin Popoff's website. You won't have to look too hard to find it, but well worth owning. Go check it out if you're an Iron Maiden fan. And today on the Talk Louder podcast, Martin Popoff.